Okay, good evening, saints of God. It's another wonderful Friday evening, and as usual, it's time for Revelation Hour, a program that comes to you every Friday evening from 7:10 to 8:10. Look at your time. Time is up. Divine Hour. God bless you for making time to watch the program. Please pick up your phone, call friends to call friends that Revelation Hour is airborne so that they can also get their share of the cake. And don't forget, this evening we are streaming live on YouTube, but not on Facebook. We are streaming live on YouTube. That's Homebase Television in full. Homebase Television. So please go there, like the program, and then share it for us so that other people can also watch the program. It doesn't matter where they are. And besides that, we cannot start the program without saying thank you to our cherished donors. In fact, you've done a yeoman's job. You have kept the program from day one till date. And we say God bless you so much. We remember you anytime you go on our news. So we say God bless you for supporting such a worthy cause. And the battle has not ended yet. So we still need money to pay for the airtime. So if you have any money that you want to send to us, please do so, and God will bless you for doing that. And the number that you can send your widow's mite to is 055 35 74 933 055 3574 933, and God will bless you for doing that. This evening we are doing part 5 of Let's Go Forward. What have you seen? That evangelist is encouraging us to go forward. That's what we are going to decode this evening. My name is Evangelist Kofi Kakari, and I'm here with the man that needs no introduction, Evangelist, the researcher, Joseph Anani. Evangelist, good evening.
Good evening.
It's another Friday evening.
Sure.
And God willing, tomorrow morning from 9 o'clock to 5:30 in the evening, Evangelist Joseph Anani and the team is worshiping with Victory SDA Church, Kaswa Obum Road. So if you live in around that area, you can join the team over there so that we study together. And don't forget, you have the opportunity to ask any question of your choice, and the evangelist himself will be there to address them. Evangelist, we should go forward. Part 5.
Yes.
With 13 videos.
Yes. Yes, let's go forward. And it's a gentle plea I'm giving to.
Oh, we are having 18 videos instead.
We are having 18
videos, okay.
But we could end up with the 13.
Okay, very
yes.
well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are planning with our viewers that they should take courage and let's march forward, because situation has demanded so. Yes, we are using Exodus chapter 14-15, where God told Moses to tell the children of Israel that they should go forward. And in our going forward, we are looking at advancing with the 3 angels' messages of Revelation chapter 14:6-12.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are adding chapter 18 verse 1-5, because the angel of Revelation 18 repeats the second angel's message of Revelation chapter 14.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that is the message that must go forward within our time,
mm-hmm.
in our time. The reason is there are historical events that are happening in our day and age, and they are fulfilling prophecies relating to our time. And the only response we could do is to preach the message that commensurates with those events.
Mm-hmm.
You see, when I say there are historical events fulfilling Bible prophecy, let me just explain it quite literally more. For instance, we take the birth of Jesus Christ. It was prophesied in Isaiah 7:14.
That's right.
The event to fulfill that prophecy was the birth of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That is what I want our viewers to understand. There is always the prophecy, and there is always an event to fulfill the prophecy.
Okay.
And when it does, it happens very literally. Yes. So the prophecy of Revelation chapter 17, no matter how it is written, when it shall begin to be fulfilled, it will happen so literally, so that it will give us the meaning, because they are dealing with earthly powers and kingdoms. In chapter 17:8, it says, the beast that thou sawest. Beast is a symbol of a king or a kingdom.
That's right.
So to explain it, or yes, to interpret it, he says the beast that thou sawest was. That means there was a king or a kingdom, and then that kingdom is not. That means it is off the action.
That's right.
And shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. That means the same kingdom shall come back again and then go into perdition. And those who would be swayed by this kingdom are people whose names are not written in the book of life. Yes. That is Revelation chapter 17 verse 8. When they shall see the beast that was and is not and is, they will be surprised by the performance of this beast, and then they will be eventually deceived by this powerful beast.
And they will follow her.
Good. All this beast, the beast in prophecy now, Revelation chapter 17 verse 8, is the kingdom of Rome. Yes. When I say the kingdom of Rome, especially the papacy, that is Revelation chapter 17 verse 8, when he said the beast that was, is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. This is Papa Rome.
Okay.
Good. And when it comes back into action, it will lead the whole world into perdition, and that will bring the end of the history of this world.
Okay.
Let me summarize what I've said so far. In the kingdoms of Bible prophecy, we have Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome. Rome has three faces: pagan Rome, Papa Rome, and the Holy See, or modern Rome. Pagan Rome has expired in history.
Okay.
And then it was followed by Papal Rome. When Papal Rome took over from the reigns of pagan Rome, the Bible says Papal Rome will reign for a period of 1,260 years, and it shall be subdued.
That's
so
right.
the prophecy says the beast that was. Then it shall come back again. The Bible says that means the wound that it received is healed. That's a coming back. Yes, coming back again. She will lead the world into perdition. That is to destruction. And the only thing that can bring the world into to its end will be the repetition of history in the days as it was in the Noah, as it was in the days of Sodom. In Isaiah 26:21, it says, "For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of this earth for their iniquity." See, for God to punish the whole world for our iniquity means that we have all committed the same level of sin.
Oh, okay. A common sin.
A common sin.
Okay.
Yes. And in this case, we have committed iniquity. Iniquity is a deliberate sin. It's explained in Numbers chapter 15, verse 30 and 31, that but the soul that doeth all presumptuously, whether he be born in the land or a stranger, the same reproacheth the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people. Because he has despised the word of the Lord and has broken his commandment, that soul shall be cut off, his iniquity shall be upon him. So for the Lord to come and punish this earth for our iniquity, it means that the whole earth have been led to commit the unpardonable sin. The process has begun, and we'll begin with the next 3 videos.
Okay. So the whole world will commit a common sin. What is it?
Yes.
Production, please, video 1 to 3. If you are ready, please roll them for us.
Dear friends, we have a one earth. We are one human family. It is our sacred duty to care for our common home. Young people can and must be the world's conscience on climate change. I urge you to continue raising your voices. Challenge your leaders to do more. Demand that your governments adopt a strong climate agreement in Paris in December. This is our last chance to avoid the worst impacts of a warming world and our best chance to end poverty and provide a life of dignity for all. I welcome the encyclical released by His Holiness Pope Francis. His Holiness and I agree that we need a new, open, and respectful dialogue about how we are shaping the future of our planet. I salute you, and I am with you in spirit. On this day, the Paris Agreement on climate change enters into force. It is a historic day for people and the planet. Every country has agreed to act to limit global temperature rise. Every nation has promised to build resilience to the changes to come. A new world of opportunity awaits if we follow a more sustainable path. But we need action from all sectors of societies, governments, businesses, investors, faith groups, young people, and citizens everywhere. Paris has shown that we can come together. Let us join hands to meet the greatest challenge humanity has ever faced.
His Excellency, the Secretary of State of the United States of America. We don't have a rope. Excuse me.
Okay, welcome. We've watched 3 videos and we'll go to Evangelist for the explanation. Evangelist.
Yes, I have said that the world has set the pace and has begun treading on the grounds of an unpardonable sin. And the 3 videos are into one direction. We're talking about the Paris Agreement coming into force. And that Paris Agreement coming into force has its bedrock on Pope Francis Laudato Si,
Exactly.
which is given to the world through the United Nations. And it entered into force on 4th November. No, it entered, yes, 4th November 2016. Yes. Before then, it had gone through various processes, which was the video we saw the Secretary Kerry of the UN Special Envoy, U.S. Special Envoy, signing the document. And then we have the photograph of Ghana's Honorable Hannah Tete, those days, who signed on behalf of Ghana.
The then Foreign Affairs Minister.
Very well. So I'm just putting these things on record to tell our viewers that certain developments are taking place. Not only Ghana signing, but we have other countries also signing, especially some Muslim countries. We have Algeria on the screen, we have Kuwait on the screen, then we have Iran also following up. I'm putting these Arab countries there because when we are dealing with these things, even though it sounds Bible prophecy, people don't see how it connects to the non-Christian faith.
That's right. Even some people call to ask whether
Yes.
Muslims are also,
Very
whether
well.
they've joined or not.
It's an international document that has been signed. So once it is an international document, every country is involved. So I'm saying that the Paris Agreement that has been signed for each country to implement has the iniquity, the unpardonable sin embedded in there. It's how it contains it.
Okay.
And when I say it has the unpardonable sin, the next 2 videos will have to explain for us.
Okay. Production, please, videos 4 and 5. Let's watch them.
On the 29th of last month, there was a high panel discussion on climate change, and I had the honor of leading the Vatican delegation to that high panel discussion, and still felt very honored when events in the UN, one has the possibility of intervening right in the opening session when the hall is full, or subsequently when people walk out and all of that. And this time, I suppose, out of great respect for the Holy Father and the Holy See, and especially in view of the fact that it's a secret has just been published We had a chance to intervene when the session, on the full session, and so part of the opening ceremonies. And the session was great because, especially since the Secretary General of the United Nations had wanted, actually did, make a comment right after the publication of the encyclical in support of the message of the encyclical and in support of the encyclical's own, if you want, moral support to all the talk about climate change and the need to be committed to some kind of change and to change shift. And then over and above the Secretary General's own recognition in his speech of the role of the encyclical, the publication of it, and gratitude to the Holy Father, one after the other, the heads of state and representatives who intervened kept making reference to the encyclical, as the Holy Father has said, So it's something that has resonated very widely, and it's something that apparently, in the short period of time between the publication and this event in the UN, people apparently had read it and knew what the encyclical was saying, and found in it a strong moral support for the UN's own. The Pope wants us to take care of the earth so the earth will take care of us. We want to recognize that, we do not always speak with, people of faith and people who believe or Christians and all of that. But the Pope essentially wrote this as a religious leader. And we cannot take that background away from the Pope. He's coming into this as a religious leader. And so we cannot pretend that he's going to be addressing this fully as somebody who does not believe. The faith point of departure is with him, although he doesn't make that as a precondition for people reading the encyclical. But we need to recognize that this is also a religious leader talking, appealing to other religious leaders, and appealing also to those who do not believe. And that being the case, we need to recognize that for him, God entrusted the world to us as a garden. And it is important that we keep it as a garden and not turn it into a world.
Okay, we've watched two videos from Cardinal Apia Kojo Texan. Let's go to Evangelist for the reason why we aired these videos.
Very good. He's made it plain and clear. He was the head of the Vatican delegation to COP21, the meeting.
That's right.
And then he's made it also clear that all the government representatives and head of states, they're present, all approved and accepted the Laudato Si, which Pope Francis brought.
Unanimously.
Very good. And then he also said that he wrote the Laudato Si to both believers and non-believers.
That's right.
So if we are writing, as he has said, he's writing to the world, both believers and non-believers. Now, in the Laudato Si, it is contained on paragraph 237. It's on the screen.
That's right.
That on Sunday, our participation in the Eucharist, so this goes to the believers, so to speak, has special importance. Sunday, like the Jewish Sabbath, still go to the Christian believers. Yes, it's meant to be a day which heals our relationship with our God, with ourselves, with others, and with the world. So why this is going to the believers, at the same time it's going to the unbelievers also.
That's right.
He added that the law of weekly rest forbade work on the seventh day, so that your ox and your donkey may have rest, and the son of your maidservant and the stranger may be refreshed. Exodus 23 verse 12, quoted from the Laudato Si. So over here, according to Cardinal Texan, this Sunday rest, which is embedded in the Paris Agreement, has been given to the world.
That's right.
Whether believers or unbelievers, it has been given to the world.
And the world has accepted it.
Yes. On which grounds did the countries accept it? Because it is indicated there that it is a day of the Eucharist. That is having church service on the program on that day. But you don't expect the Muslim countries and other non-Christian countries to necessarily go to church on Sunday. Actually, even in Saudi Arabia, there is no church. There are Christians there, though, that you don't find a temple, a church house. It's not there.
Okay.
Yes. And there are other countries. I know. Okay, let me carry on. So there are some few countries which don't have Christian
beliefs.
Yes, there are.
Their main.
Yes, they are not yes, like we are saying, like Ghana, we have an upper hand when it comes to Christians. In other countries, you have upper hands when it comes to Muslims.
That's right.
Very good. Morocco is an example of it. On which grounds did all these non-Christian countries accept the Laudato Si, which has a Sunday rest as a Sabbath? The agreement they signed, the para-agreement which they signed, paragraph 4/1, that's section 1. It says, in order to achieve the long-term temperature goals set out in Article 2, parties, that is countries, aim to reach global peaking of greenhouse gas emissions as soon as possible, recognizing that peaking will take longer for developing country parties, and to undertake rapid reductions thereafter in accordance with the best available science. So resting on Sunday was not given to the non-Christian country, it was given to them on scientific grounds.
Okay.
Because it was based on the best available science. So the Muslim world and then the non-Christian world accepted to rest on Sunday, not as a religious day, but as a day scientifically to combat climate change.
Okay.
Other Christian nations would accept both as by faith and then also by science.
Okay.
You know, when we come to the subject of the mark of the beast, the angel wore, that's the third angel. You either receive it on your forehead or in your hand.
That's right.
On your forehead because you believe it. In your hand, scientifically for convenience.
Or abstaining from work.
Yes. So those who decide to believe it and defend the Church of Christ, many of them who defend the Sunday, so biblical, it's the Apostle Paul and Christ arose and all that. Once they have demonstrated that belief, they receive it as a mark in their foreheads when they come to that time. Now not. Yes. So they managed to bring in the Sunday Sabbath so as to achieve a balance between anthropogenic emissions by sources and removals by sinks of greenhouse gas and etc. The Catholic Herald, which appeared on April 19, 2022, explained it better or added further explanation. It says climate healing by doing less 1 day a week.
Okay.
So he started by saying that we don't have a lot of time. The Guardian reported that 2021 ocean temperatures were the hottest in history. So what can one person do? Not much. But 17 million US Catholics could make a difference on the Sabbath, greatly reducing carbon in the atmosphere by literally doing less. So when the Holy See took the Sunday to the UN, it went there on the grounds that it can help reduce the carbon emissions. This is scientific.
That's right.
Good. And in order to reduce the carbon emissions, then it stated that there should be no commercial driving, should be prohibited on Sundays. That's what it said.
Okay.
Now, the iniquity is that God himself spoke from the heavens after Solomon had prayed. We are reading 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14.
Okay.
It says, if my people, which are called by my name, that's Jehovah's name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now, if the Creator says that if his people will turn from their wicked ways, and remember in Proverbs chapter 28, 4 and 9, say, whosoever turneth his ear away from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination.
That's Proverbs 28:9.
Exactly.
Okay.
And verse 4 says, whosoever forsaketh the law will praise the wicked.
That's right.
Now, if the UN have accepted the document of the Holy See, telling us that Sunday is like the Sabbath of the Lord, and the whole world have accepted it. If the whole world doesn't know this, the Holy See herself is aware, because it's stated in the Laudato Si that Sunday is like the Jewish Sabbath.
Meaning he knows the original
He has a
Sabbath.
knowledge of the original Sabbath. And this was what was used to frame the Paris Agreement. So, in practice, the Paris Agreement is just a brainchild of the Laudato Si.
That's right.
Yes, the Paris Agreement was born by the Laudato Si. Nothing more, nothing less. And then all the faith groups, be they Christian or non-Christians, have also accepted this doctrine in the name of combating climate change. There was a meeting at the Vatican. They call it the Faith and Science Meeting towards COP26. Yes, we have heard that video some time ago, but it is necessary for us to refresh
Faith and Science Meeting. Please, let's watch it.
Human qualities, reason and morality.
At the meeting, Faith and Science towards COP26, Pope Francis, scientists, and religious leaders sign and formally present their appeal to the president of COP26, Alok Sharma. COP26 is the 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference. COP stands for Conference of the Parties.
It is an honor to receive this appeal. Through science, we understand the damage that we're inflicting on our planet and its peoples. Through morality, we comprehend our responsibility to restore the planet, but doing so requires us all to play our part.
Representatives from the Christian, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism, Confucianism, Taoism, Zoroastrianism, and Jainism faiths came together online in discussions that the Vatican and embassies of the UK and Italy to the Holy See have hosted several times this year to understand the science and urgency of achieving net zero carbon emissions.
Children born today or having her first birthday, like one of my grandchildren called Amy, have a high probability that when they are 60, they live in a largely inhabitable world. The degradation of our common home due to climate change is a symptom of deeper social ills. Starting point is a promotion of ethics in consumption, including sufficiency approaches, no waste.
At the meeting, scientists and religious leaders spoke about the need for more promotion on the topics of enough and sharing more. They agreed that carbon emissions need to be taxed and commitments by governments and businesses need to be put into action. But most importantly, people must know that they have to do something now. Lingzhou Mountain Buddha Society founder Dharma Master Xingdao shared his thoughts via a video message.
要解决问题，只有让浩劫的造作者觉醒，认清灾劫正在发生，而且谁都逃不掉。希望各宗教们团结起来，让广大的追随者回归灵性。
In the Holy Quran, nature talks to God, to Allah, just like humans.
We need this dialogue in order to coexist with one another as human beings and as part of God's sacred creation.
And Laudato Si.
In Taiwan, Lingzhou Mountain Buddha Society followed up on the effort by holding a press conference to further bring attention to climate change. Monsignor Arnoldo Catalan, the Vatican's representative to Taiwan, also attended the event and presented Lingzhou Mountain with a copy of Pope Francis's Laudato Si, the encyclical he wrote in 2015 that criticized the behavior which led to global warming and called for everyone to take action.
It is our hope that the joint appeal for COP26 and Laudato Si, in one way or another, will touch the hearts of people beyond denominational lines around the world to come together to care for the earth and all its peoples. Since, when it comes to preserving our common home, the earth, we are all in this together.
我们教宗啊。
Human qualities, reason and morality.
At the meeting, Faith and Science towards COP26, Pope Francis, scientists, and religious leaders sign and formally present their appeal to the president of COP26, Alok Sharma. COP26 is the 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference. COP stands for Conference of the Parties.
It is an honor to receive this appeal. Through science, we understand the damage that we're inflicting on our planet and its peoples. Through morality, we comprehend our responsibility to restore the planet, but doing so requires us all to play our part.
Representatives from the Christian, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Sikhism, Buddhism, Confucianism, Taoism, Zoroastrianism, and Jainism faiths came together online in discussions that the Vatican and embassies of the UK and Italy to the Holy See have hosted several times this year to understand the science and urgency of achieving net zero carbon emissions.
Children born today or having her first birthday, like one of my grandchildren called Amy, have a high probability that when they are 60, they live in a largely inhabitable world. The degradation of our common home due to climate change is a symptom of deeper social ills. Starting point is the promotion of ethics in consumption, including sufficiency approaches, no waste.
At the meeting, scientists and religious leaders spoke about the need for more promotion on the topics of enough and sharing more. They agreed that carbon emissions need to be taxed and commitments by governments and businesses need to be put into action. But most importantly, people must know that they have to do something now. Lingzhou Mountain Buddha Society founder Dharma Master Xingdao shared his thoughts via a video message.
要解决问题，只有让浩劫的造作者觉醒。认清灾劫正在发生，而且谁都逃不掉。希望各宗教们团结起来，让广大的追随者回归灵性。
In the Holy Quran, nature talks to God, to Allah, just like humans.
We need this dialogue in order to coexist with one another as human beings and as part of God's sacred creation.
And Laudato Si.
In Taiwan, Lingzhou Mountain Buddha Society followed up on the effort by holding a press conference to further bring attention to climate change. Monsignor Arnoldo Catalan, the Vatican's representative to Taiwan, also attended the event and presented Lingzhou Mountain with a copy of Pope Francis's Laudato Si, the encyclical he wrote in 2015 that criticized the behavior which led to global warming and called for everyone to take action.
It is our hope that the joint appeal for COP26 and Laudato Si, in one way or another, will touch the hearts of people beyond denominational lines around the world to come together to care for the earth and all its peoples. Since, when it comes to preserving our common home, the earth, we are all in this together.
This video is very, very important as far as where we've gotten into is concerned. So please, we repeated the video for you so that you hear the sound. Sorry for the technical hitches. Evangelist.
Yes. It's good for that address.
That's right.
We want to make sure that our viewers understand that when the Holy See came out with the Sunday Sabbath and gave the UN, they also co-opted other faith groups of the world. So as we speak now, there is not a single faith group under the sun which has not accepted to rest on Sunday per the Paris Agreement.
With the exception of the Seventh-day Adventists.
Very well. Every nation have accepted it. So very soon it will come to bear and everyone will take a stand. Amongst the people who sat and signed the Faith and Science towards COP26 was this gentleman on the screen they called the Dharma Master Xingdao. These are the people who came together with the Holy See to endorse the Sunday Sabbath. I just want our viewers to take a view of how they worship. These are the people who are bringing to the world a Sunday Sabbath.
A Sunday rest.
Yes, the next video.
Production, please, video 7. Let's watch this man.
礼敬南无本师释迦牟尼佛，礼敬南无本师释迦牟尼佛，礼敬南无本师释迦牟尼佛。
Evans,
Yes.
this is not a laughter. It's a serious issue.
You see, I pray that Christians would understand what we are saying
And where it's coming from.
and then stop defending blindly the indefensible. God in his wisdom long wrote down Revelation chapter 18 that an angel descended from heaven and whose glory enlightened the whole world. And the message of the angel was that Babylon is falling, and it has become the habitation of devils and the hold of every unclean and foul spirit. The whole world has now united. Demons and human beings are coming together in the name of religious groups, faith groups, with a common ground of the climate change. They have succeeded in creating a common platform because the climate is no respecter of persons. Therefore, non-Christian groups and Christian groups and the rest have all come together, regardless of what the Creator himself have said. The Holy See leading the whole band. They are telling us that when we rest on Sunday, it will heal the planet, as if they created it. Look at the man Master Shintao. He is directly breaking all 10 of the commandments of God.
Worshipping of idols.
Exactly. And he has joined the wagon, introducing Sunday Sabbath to the rest of the world. That when we have rested on Sunday, it will help heal the climate and eventually heal this planet for us. We have been given a warning to sound in Revelation chapter 18, verse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whilst these are going on, those who have been given that light should stand up and then throw the light. That is what I mean for us to go forward with the light.
That's right.
And in this particular sense, since all these faith groups have gone to join this organization, the only group, global group left is the Seventh-day Adventists. That's why I have kept knocking at their doors time and again, that they shouldn't keep mute in all these things. They should off the mute button and then they should sound the alarm.
That's right.
You see, the Bible is not blind. We have prophecies history in advance. God in his wisdom can never remain silent without telling us those things in advance. That is why we call it prophecy. In Revelation chapter 16, we are told that at the drying of the Euphrates, there will be 3 demonic spirits like frogs coming out of the mouth of the dragon, that's the devil, out of the mouth of the false prophet, that's the United States, and all Christian churches who have rejected Jesus Christ, they are the false prophets. And then out of the mouth of the beast. So these 3 powers, the dragon, the false prophet, and the beast, that is the Holy See, the beast, the false prophet, the fallen Christian churches of the United States, and then the dragon, all the spiritual organizations. Example is the video we just aired, the Master Shintao. You see, when these powers come together, they came under the umbrella of the drying of the Euphrates. The drying of the Euphrates, I have given the interpretation here on this program time and again that it is literal. And our people, when I say our people, I mean particularly Seventh-day Adventists.
The message carriers.
Yes. They have rejected that interpretation that the drying of the spirit of the Euphrates is symbolic. And then the unclean spirits like frogs, meaning it stands for speaking in tongues, they should debunk it. I mean, they should throw it away. The drying of the Euphrates is literally that has been caused by climate change. We agree. And then the froggish spirit is the climate change gospel by which they have used to capture all the world, both Christians and non-Christians. That's why when you read in verse 13, it says the whole world is distilled into it. That is why in Revelation chapter 17, verse 8, it says, those whose name are not written in the book of life will be deceived. And I'll come to that next week, because when you say those whose name are not written in the book of life, you are dealing with where God told Moses that whosoever has transgressed my law, I'll blot his name out of the book of life.
That's right.
So all those who have been led into breaking the 10 commandments, especially the 4th, I will have their names blotted out from the book of life. That's how it is.
And that's dangerous.
Exactly. So all these quotes are available in scripture. I have told them time and again. And that the Bible told us that once upon a time there was the papacy that ruled until 1798, and then that power will be subdued. Then after 1798 it will come again in the future. Okay. When it comes in the future, it will lead the whole world into perdition. And that's exactly what the Holy See is doing. Now, for God to even add additional force, let's watch the next video.
Okay. Production, please. Video 9. Let's watch.
Eminences, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to celebrate with you today the entry into force for the Holy See. In the name and the
We want to show you some extraordinary pictures which came to us from the Vatican on what was, of course, an extraordinary day. Within hours of Pope Benedict announcing that he was to resign, take a look at this. Lightning struck St. Peter's Basilica. You can see it again now in slow motion. Extraordinary. It happened just before 6 o'clock in the evening, local time.
Because this is a strange video.
Yes. You see, I'm trying to check into history.
If it has happened before.
Yes. For the first time, at the resignation of a live Pope, Pope Benedict XVI, on the very day when he made clear, or when he declared his intention that he was stepping down, that same day at sunset, we had this lightning hitting the St. Peter's Basilica, the iron cross on top of the dome. We saw the video.
That's right.
Now this is what BBC is reporting. Lightning really does strike twice. And then the date is there. It reads, as the world reeled with the news that Pope Benedict XVI was to resign, another bolt from the blue was to hit the Vatican within hours, this time quite literally. AP photographer Filippo Monteforti was also in the right place at the right time. He captured the same scene, having also found a good vantage point sheltering in the columns around the St. Peter's Square. He shot a 50mm lens and waited for 2 hours. He told AFP, the first bolt was huge and it lit up the sky, but unfortunately I missed it. I had a better luck the second time and was able to snap a couple of images of the dome illuminated by the bolt. So, you see, it baffles my mind, but we could still make our way through. On that very day when Pope Benedict announced that he was resigning, at sunset, then there was this lightning bolt that hit the dome of the St. Peter's Cathedral.
Okay.
You see, it clicks my mind back to when Christ died. The day when he hung on the cross on that Friday, when he said,
it is finished.
It is finished. There was thunder and lightning from heaven. And then the veil separating the holy from the most holy place, the temple of Jerusalem, torn from top to bottom.
That's right.
Understand? Meaning that it is finished. So when Pope Benedict decided to quit his pontificate, that same day, when the sun set, meaning that the day has ended biblically.
That's right.
Yes, at sunset there was this lightning twice. The Bible says, at the mouth of 2 or 3 shall a thing be established. Understand? And then the next event, the next thing that I said it kept baffling my mind was that the photographer who witnessed this, how did he know that there was to be a follow-up lightning?
That's right.
And that he has to mount his camera and wait for 2 hours. He was confident that no, there will be a repetition.
There will be another.
Yes.
That's true.
Which how many photographers could just sit down and then think like that?
God wanted him to capture
exactly
it for evidence sake.
Yes. And there we go. So it is over there. So for me, I understood that with the resignation of Pope Benedict and then with the coronation of Pope Francis on the throne, we are finished. He will lead us into perdition under the Holy See.
That's right.
So in Revelation 17, it says, and there are 7 kings, 5 have fallen, 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was coming to the Holy See. So the Bible kept, it keeps repeating this history back and forth. Because it says, when he shall join it, it will be the 8th one. It says, and the beast that was, and is not. Even he is the 8th and is of the 7th, and shall lead the world into perdition. We will end this video immediately.
Okay.
But before then, when Pope Francis presented the Laudato Si to the United Nations, and they all accepted it, per Cardinal Jackson's video that we heard, and then with the 2016 signatory that took place in New York, where Ban Ki-moon said it entered into force. Now, he brought the Laudato Si, it ran through the General Conference meetings, everything was accepted, countries endorsed it, it was signed, and then it entered into force.
That's right.
Why would the Holy See wait from 2016 to 2022 before acceding to the Paris Agreement? You brought the Laudato Si. It was the Laudato Si that gave birth to the Paris Agreement. Why didn't he join it at the initial stage?
That's right.
Let's watch the video first.
Production, I think we will go to video 9. Please, let's watch it. Video 9.
Eminences, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to celebrate with you today the entry into force for the Holy See, in the name and on behalf of the Vatican City State, of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, as well as the Paris Agreement under this convention. With the accession of the Holy See, the UNFCCC almost reaches its universalization with 180 states parties. To achieve this step, an intense and long
Evans, the representative from Holy See.
Yes, the Vatican presents accession to the UN and Paris Climate Agreements, October 4, 2022, at the Vatican. They said the Holy See deposits its instrument of accession to the 1992 United Nations Framework Convention and the Paris Agreement signed in 2015 to the United Nations Secretariat and holds an event in the Vatican to celebrate the occasion.
Okay.
So, my question is, when countries were signing the document in 2016, where was the Holy See? Wasn't that the same person who brought the whole document to be signed?
He's the main architect.
Yes, so you could have signed it first. Leadership by example.
That's right.
So that others will
follow suit.
Yes. But he decided to stay behind and push the document. Understand? So eventually, now they have signed. You see, and doing it like that, it comes back to fulfill the prophecy. Because the Bible says it will be the last power to join the conglomeration of nations. Babylon was past, Medo-Persia, Greece, pagan Rome were gone. Papal Rome also gone. Before Papal Rome left the scene, it has given us the Christian Sunday, so-called. Yes. And then, when Papal Rome was wounded, the Sunday remained. America came in its stead in 1776 and championed the Sunday cause. And then the United Nations followed. Now the Holy See has come again.
1945.
Yes. So when the Holy See joins, it leads the world into perdition. She brought the Sunday, and she will eventually bring it back.
Okay.
And then lead the whole world into perdition. Now there is a time frame which they have set to make sure that these things happen. The next video.
Production, please, video 10. But still, join us on YouTube. That's Homebase TV Television. Homebase Television. Please join us on YouTube. Production.
So why is this year critical for transparency? Because this year, the enhanced transparency framework comes to life. By the end of 2024, countries should have submitted their first biennial transparency reports, also called BTRs in climate lingo. These reports will provide a transparent snapshot of countries' progress in cutting emissions, putting in place climate policies, and providing resources where they're needed most. The reports are a crucial tool in the Paris Agreement toolbox. They will help build up an evidence base that governments can use to design stronger national climate plans, also called Nationally Determined Contributions, or NDCs, and other climate.
Yes, someone still have said it all.
Yes. In the Paris Agreement toolbox, which heads of states, government representatives, and various ministries under the climate change program are using the toolbox. When you open to Article 4, Clause 9, it says that each patriotic, each country shall communicate a nationally determined contribution every 5 years in accordance with decision 1/CP21. Okay, so every 5 years we are to submit our national determined contributions from 2016. Let's see how far have we come and what next are we expected. The next video.
Okay. Production, please. Video 10.
11.
Video 11. Okay, right. Let's watch video 11, please.
This is very clear. We must get on with the job of putting the Paris Agreement to full work. In early 2025, countries must deliver new nationally determined contributions. Every single commitment on finance, adaptation, and mitigation must bring us in line with a 1.5-degree world.
You know, Samuel Steele is a soft speaker, but he means what he says.
Slow but sure.
That's right.
Yes. He said it clear. By early 2025, countries must submit ambition, mitigation, and finance. All those things must be submitted in early 2025. We are approaching there. But still, you know, he lifted the document up.
That's right. That's the Paris Agreement.
Good. I visited the United Nations Climate Change, their website. It says how the Paris Agreement works. It says the Paris Agreement is a legally binding international treaty. So it's binding on all countries. All right. And then further on into the writing, it says, since 2020, countries have been submitting their national climate action plans known as national determined contributions. The document went into effect in 2016. Maybe that, I mean, let's repeat that video again. So let's play that.
Okay, that's the video 11.
Yes, we can play videos 11, 12, and 13.
Okay. Production, please, videos 11, 12, and 13.
Yes,
let's watch them
so that we can summarize it.
This is very clear. We must get on with the job of putting the Paris Agreement to full work. In early 2025,
on this day, the Paris Agreement on climate change enters into force. It is a historic day for people and the planet. Every country has agreed to act to limit global temperature rise. Every nation has promised to build resilience to the changes to come. A new world of opportunity awaits if we follow a more sustainable path. But we need action.
My solemn duty to protect America and its citizens. The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord Thank you. Thank you. But begin negotiations to re-enter either the Paris Accord or in really entirely new transaction on terms that are fair to the United States, its businesses, its workers, its people, its taxpayers. So we're getting out, but we will start to negotiate, and we will see if we can make a deal that's fair. And if we can, that's great.
All right, good afternoon again. I will read out a statement on the decision by the U.S. to withdraw from the Paris Agreement. The decision by the United States to withdraw from the Paris Agreement on climate change is a major disappointment for global efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and promote international security. The Paris Agreement was adopted by all the world's nations in 2015 because they recognize the immense harm that climate change is already causing and the enormous opportunity that climate action represents. It offers a meaningful yet flexible framework for action by all countries. The transformation envisaged in the Paris Agreement is already underway. The Secretary General remains confident that all other parties to the Paris Agreement will continue to demonstrate vision and leadership, along with very many cities, states, and businesses in the United States and around the world, by working for the low-carbon, resilient economic growth that will create quality jobs and markets for the 21st century economic prosperity. It is crucial that the United States remains a leader on environmental issues. The Secretary General looks forward to engaging with the American government and all actors in the United States and...
Okay, welcome once again. Evangelist, we've watched some videos.
Yes. The Paris Agreement, Article 9 demands that every 5 years the report, the nationally determined contributions should come from the nations. We went into effect with the Paris Agreement November 4, 2016. Why did nations begin bringing their reports in 2020 instead of from 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020? Why all those vacuum years? Nothing was reported. It was because Donald Trump, the then sitting president of the United States, decided to withdraw in the United States after the whole deal. Fine, if the United States alone was gone, why wouldn't the rest of the 194 countries operate and then submit their national determined contributions? So the presidency of Donald Trump blocked every report. That means there was nothing that happened under the Paris Agreement for the first 5 years.
So even according to the prophecy, it's America that is supposed to play the lead
Exactly.
role.
So this was to inform the students of the prophecy that America has to lead. Yes. So Donald Trump has set the pace. That's why the gentleman said it was crucial that the United States remains a leader on environmental issues. It's prophetic.
That's right.
So the resting of Sunday will start from the United States of America, and the rest of the world will follow. Exactly. So when Donald Trump stepped in, nothing could be done. The UN itself has reported it, that unless the US comes in, nothing happens, nothing goes.
That's right.
So when we say that the Sunday law will be passed and that to fulfill the entire prophecy, that when the sins of this world shall reach its ultimate, yes, or shall reach its apex, it will begin from the United States of America. That's where we are approaching now.
That's right.
You understand? So we are almost there, and we'll get there very soon.
Evans, God bless you so much. Somebody sent me some emoji saying that wisdom is speaking and the wise is listening to it. A word to the wise is enough. Yes, really, the climate change, everybody can feel it. It's happening. But according to Evangelist, it's coming from the Lord, God himself. It's the wrath of God, or the judgment from God.
Exactly.
But the world has come together to break the commandment of God, to arrest the situation, and it won't work. But rather, God will come and punish the inhabitants of the world. So please, run away from this false Sabbath of the Lord, our God, and we will be blessed. God bless you for making time to watch the program. This is where we draw down the curtain. My name is Evangelist Kufika Kari, and the man himself is no other person than Evangelist Joseph Anani. Evangelist, God bless you so much.
Amen.
From here, don't forget we are moving straight to Angel TV, and we are coming your way from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock with Bible Ediwem, and that one is going to be in Chi. So you can also join us over there. Don't forget the time, 9 to 10